Hi there, welcome to ontrackTV. My name is Jonathan and today we're going to be working with basic HTML. We're going to create a simple web page that uses the main element tags that can be found in pretty much all web pages on a website. We're going to look at the HTML tag, head tags and title tags, as well as the body tag, paragraphs, divs and spans. We're also going to touch briefly on attributes that are within tags. It gives them a bit more context, lets Google and other search engines know what's going on inside the structure of your web page. But enough talk from me, let's dive straight in. Okay, so the very first thing we need to create a web page is a text editor. In my case, I'm going to be using Notepad++. It's a more advanced version of the normal Notepad found on Windows machines. But feel free to use this or WordPad or Notepad. So when I open it up, I've got it snapped to the right-hand side. Straight away, I'm going to go to File and Save As. I want to save it as a HTML file straight away, just so I can see my changes as I create it. So I'm going to call it sample. If you're using the normal Notepad, you're going to have to put .html at the end before you click save. With Notepad++, I can go to the Save As type and choose Hypertext Markup Language file. And I'm just going to save it to the desktop. And here we have my sample file. So if I click on that, opens up in the browser, and appropriately at the moment it's blank. So the very first tag you have to put into a HTML web page is the doc type tag. The doc type tag is used to tell any programs or browsers that are using this file that it is of a particular type. In our case, it's a HTML file. It's best practice to have this at the top and start of your web pages. The next element we have is the HTML tag. Now, element tags like this have a start tag and an end tag. This HTML tag is a start tag, and an end tag has a / in front of it and the same element name. So it's a start point and an end point. The HTML tag is the highest level, and it's going to wrap the rest of our content within our web page. So it must always be wrapping everything else, or else you run into problems. The next tag we have is the head tag. The head tag contains the title of your web page, any external files that you might be importing from a server, meta information, so on and so forth. In our case, let's keep it simple. We'll just have title. And again, it has a start and an end tag as well. So the title is going to be Welcome to HTML Basics. And that's all we're going to include in our head tag. Following the head tag, we have, appropriately, the body tag. Also uses start and end tags. The body tag is where the bulk of your content on your web page will reside. Pictures, sections, articles, links, sidebars, most of that is kept within the body tag. There are a few different elements you can have within it, like I mentioned, images and links and so on and so forth. We're just going to look at paragraphs for the moment. So a paragraph is quite simply P with an end tag as well. And I can put text into this. So let's just say, welcome to HTML Basics. It is going to be a fun journey to HTML expertise. You can have several paragraphs the same way you can have several paragraphs in a Word document. So paragraph 1. Again, closing tag, paragraph 2, and a closing tag, like so. Now, again, I've made changes, so I need to save the file again. I don't need to save as, because we've already saved it as a HTML file. If you didn't do the initial step, you would do that here. In our case, we can just do save, or Control and S is the shortcut for it. So when I hit save, the file is updated. And if I then refresh or reload the page on the left, we'll see I now have my text that I added into the body, and the title is up in the tab on top of the web browser. Now, there are more advanced tags and elements that you can put into a web page, and in later lessons we're going to have a look at them. We'll be looking at elements that have block priority and inline priority, and there'll be things you need to be conscious of. But for the most part, basic HTML pages will always have the doc type, will always have the HTML, a head, and a body section. Lastly, we can have attributes within our elements. Attributes just give our elements a bit more context, and depending on what you're trying to do, will help the browsers figure out some additional information. For instance, within our HTML tag, we could also include a language tag, or lang. Attributes start with some kind of attribute name and equals, and then in double quotation marks, the value. In this case, I want English US, like so. Again, hit save, refresh. Now, whenever a program reads this file, it will know that the language that is going to be found within it is English US variant. Different tags can have different kinds of attributes, and we'll have a look at more advanced ones later on. But to give you an example, image tags can have a width and height attribute. So in that lesson, we saw the basic HTML element tags that you use to create a simple web page. We saw the body and the head and the HTML tags, which are the most important ones, as well as the paragraph tags that let you add in your content and give your pages a bit more structure. We also touched on attributes of tags, which helps give them some context and helps Google and other search engines understand what you're trying to achieve with your information. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.